I will leave you with this video. It's a food for thought. Honestly, just take time, relax, and watch this episode unfold. It is quite interesting, and that will shock you.
You are dining and whining with terrorists. Then under 9 months, one that is operating in Finland have been jailed. And you are not even ashamed. You are saying you are waiting for the CTC. So you now copy what they did, Abi, before you can now jail these ones here. Is that what you are waiting for? A whole attorney general. Look at what is going on in Nigeria here. No single one of them has been brought to book. Rather, you are negotiating and dining with them. So it is when they tell somebody in abroad that you now know what to do, Abi. Is that what you are telling me? It's a shame.
Let's
very big shame.
Honestly, these are exact words of this great lawyer. Without missing words, he gave it to the Attorney General of the Federation. How could you be demanding for true certified copy of a judgment pronounced in Finland while you have Boko Haram, bandits, terrorist kingpin being celebrated, living within the Nigerian defined territory? You know their hideouts. The government is aware of the operations of their dastard and nefarious activities going on throughout the regions of Nigeria. The government is aware of the deprivation and subjugation and intimidations these citizens are going on daily basis, that they could no longer access their farmlands or go about their activities without paying ransom and being levied by these assailants, by these terrorist groups who have more robust and formidable, of course, network across the region. With due respect to the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, he's aware of that. Even while the Fulani militias threatened the federal government of Nigeria over the illegal or the arbitrary detention of the president of the Mietianla Association. We recall how the Attorney General Fagbemi eventually addressed the public that the leader or the president of Mietianla has to be released in the interest of public security and interest. All the terrorism charges levied against Badejo, the Mietianla president, was dismissed. And he was released unconditional as the Fulani people and the Mietianla demanded that otherwise they are going to burn down Nigeria. Eventually, the Attorney General of the Federation came to withdraw the case against Badejo, bordering on terrorism and unlawful procurement of arms and training of militia groups within the defined territory of Nigeria, which contravened the position of the law, which could be considered an act of treason against the state. But as the case is, it was jettisoned, and eventually history will never forget that. Now, asking for the true certified copy of a judgment that was pronounced all the way from Finland. Now the question is, what is the government of Nigeria doing? How many of these terrorists have been arrested and tried, subjected in Nigerian court of law, and tried for treason, for terrorism acts, which the evidence abounds? How many of them? What we've heard of recent is that they are being paid 1 billion, as RFI alleged. They have been, of course, receiving monthly allowances. The federal government sending emissaries and, of course, representatives to dialogue, romance, beg the Boko Haram, the terrorists, and the rest of them. They know their hideouts. And you're talking about this true certified copy of all the way from Finland. Why the people terrorizing on daily basis? Look at the Sokoto region. Communities are crying over the continued killings and sacking of communities. They are being threatened on daily basis. This is a daily occurrences. Does it mean that the life of these people, of Nigerians, do no longer matter to the government? And being the Attorney General of the Federation and the Chief of Justice, you should have upheld as a custodian of justice, equity, and fairness. Does it mean that the life of these ones does not matter? We've seen what is happening in Katsina, the former state of President Buhari, late now. We've seen several outcry from Bayelsa to Delta to Kogi to Kwara and the rest of them. How many of these terrorists has been brought to justice or arraigned in the Nigerian court of law and be tried? And if they are found guilty according to the law, and justice will serve its cause. Madu Simon Ekpa case, of course, is the ruling of the court of Finland, which has a window to be appealed should they desire so. That is not a dead end. But why interested in Simon Ekpa in the last 10 months? Have there not been killing, assault, raiding in several communities in Nigeria? Which unfortunately has been aggravated in most recent months. We've seen over 200 being killed in just a matter of hours in Benin, which the government also, the president of Nigeria, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, visited as the Grand Commander of the Armed Forces and President of Nigeria and also Minister of Petroleum. He went there and demanded, who are the assailants? Who are the criminals? Who are these nefarious elements that did this? The response he got from the IG was, none was arrested. He demanded, were anyone arrested? And the response he got was, no one. In the same country, demanding for true certified copy of a court case that was ruled all the way from Finland, where there is a place of the criminal justice system in Nigeria. Many communities are crying out, families, loved ones, even young children are being killed on a daily basis. There are protests blocking major roads in Sokoto or other parts of the country. Does it mean that the Attorney General is not aware of this and will not want to defend the innocency of these Nigerians who are being deprived, unjustly treated? That is a clear threat to their own life and existence, and yet everybody is holding hand, waiting for a true certified copy from Finland before you will now act and bring injustice and try the Boko Haram that's ravaging the entire country. Well, let's listen more to this conversation. It will interest you, honestly, to see certain revelations, and the opinion expressed is the personal opinion of this gentlemen or lawyers, as interview was granted in one of the conventional medias. Let's just take time, watch to the end, and let's have your comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as you continue with this.
This writer, referring to the same story, says, "We are vindicated," says FG, as Finnish court jails Simon Ekpa 6 years for terrorism. And then the writer to that story, Fagbemi Mahmood, NBA, hail conviction. Ekpa not our member, IPOB. And yes, of course, let's react to that headline. Barrister, let me start off with you on that one.
I am disappointed that the FG is saying that they are vindicated. Vindicated on what? You want to tell me that this FG, they didn't know what Ekpa was doing in Finland? They didn't know. Is that what they are trying to tell me? Did you remember how many times we told them from the Southeast, bring this man in here, let him answer? They just kept deaf ear. Until this judgment, we now told the Finnish government to take care of this man. What he's doing in the Southeast is not our calling, it's not our character. We don't keep people over there. But this man, I don't know who hired him. I don't know who he's working with. So this FG, since you are vindicated, the ones that are under your nose here, what are you doing with them? Can't you vindicate yourself with the ones under you? Was it not said that you remove the log of wood in your own life before they speak in another person? So I should now celebrate with you, Abi, because they have just Simon Ekpa. Told you Bello and his fellow travelers that are under your nose here, what have you done with them? Federal government of Nigeria, what have you done with them? If not for the way we cried out and the action of Finnish government, Simon Ekpa will still be operating today. Because what he's doing in the south is to the benefit of the federal government. That was why they allowed him. And today, the needful has been done. And they are now celebrating. Celebrate the ones here with us. Celebrate the one who is here with us. That is when I will know that, yes, you meant what you are saying. The Attorney General is telling us that they are waiting for the CTC of the judgment. What do you want to do with it? What do you want to do with the certified true copy? We are talking of terrorists that are disturbing Nigeria here for 15 years now. No prominent one among them have been jailed. Toju Bello is still talking and dining and whining with the federal government. Please, for God's sake, when will this Nigerian government at least show us some mercy in their attitude? The embarrassment is too much all over the world. The federal government will send them messages to go and be talking with a known terrorist, a wanted terrorist. And they are now celebrating Simon Ekpa that was jailed in Finland for terrorism activities. Can you just imagine? A complete contradiction. Can you just imagine? So, you want to tell me that when you get the city, what are you going to do with it? That the Attorney General is waiting for it? Please, they should spare all this things short. It's becoming too much. They have reduced Nigeria to, I don't know. In fact, Banana Republic is even worse than Nigeria now.
We have Professor Emmanuel Odre. Okay, we do understand that he has left the virtual link there. But anyway, let's continue with these. Well, do we have anybody else wanting to react to that story?
Okay, especially I'd like to make an observation.
Go ahead, please.
Because the statement or this discourse actually took off from linking it to the federal government's reaction. Jubilation.
Well, I didn't link it to the federal government. It's from the paper.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm just reacting to your statement, which is okay. That's the right thing to actually say. And Barrister Darlington's reaction could be quite, understandable. He was very passionate and emotional about it. But for me also, it depicts what I see as a proactive act of inactivity. That's the fallout. That's it has to do with federal government. Because as far as I'm concerned, Simon Ekpa's case was more or less made manifest and was for him from the activities and responses from the eastern part of Nigeria, the southeasterners, having to go there, making representations that what is happening linked to that young man.
If you don't know your fasting time, you're not burning fat. Look at me before. I want to lose 44.
It's not acceptable to them. But that's Simon Ekpa's case is like a teaspoon out of the ocean of the activities of insecurity and banditry and terrorism ravaging the entire Nigerian space. But let me also link this action of the Finnish government to what took place sometime in Dubai, where it took the government of Dubai to list out terrorists who they arrested on behalf of Nigeria. The Nigerian government kept quiet
over them,
as if nothing happened.
What?
And we are busy celebrating Simon Ekpa. As far as when that issue broke out yesterday, some of my students approached me, told them that is the business of Simon Ekpa and the Finnish government. But I thank them for one thing. They've made a statement which, if we are responsible as a nation, should key in and flush out a lot of oddities. But unfortunately, Nigeria has become a kind of society where abnormalities are seen to be normal. Right, he was making references to the hobnobbing of our government officials with core and established terrorists. Because in my study on terrorism, sometimes, in 2007 or so, we were able to establish 3 terrible terrorist organizations in the world, of which Boko Haram was mentioned as one of them. Today, we are still hobnobbing with Boko Haram, contending with Boko Haram, rehabilitating Boko Haram members, reintegrating them into the society is an abnormality. I think for me, those are worse cases ravaging the Nigerian situation than the case of Simon Ekpa. But just like Barrister Darlington pointed out, going back to the wisdom of, for all his inadequacies, Sani Abacha, he said that when any act of insurgency or banditry lasts more than 48 hours, say that government has something to do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
As it is infesting the Southeast today, to a reasonable extent, I think our government needs to really search itself, search its conscience, look at its logistics, and see how either its actions or inactions are fueling what is happening in the Southeast before we start talking about Simon Ekpa.
You know, sorry, Moses, before we move on, the larger picture or the larger question that comes to my mind is when we talk about insecurity in the Southeast, and a lot of people feel, rightly so, that the central government is complicit, either by closing its eyes or by its inaction, you know. But when I look outside the Southeast, especially in parts of the North, I also see that, look, the federal government is also looking the other way. Because one of the stories we took on the morning show this morning is that in a certain local government, Mosawa local government area in Katsina State, the government, local government, is negotiating with bandits.
Yes.
They pay them money so that they will allow them to go to farm, do business, live in their communities and all of them. I said local government. So at that level, not even the state government, the local government is now taking up the responsibility to ensure their own peace, that they coexist peacefully with bandits. And so it begins to, you know, I begin to interrogate the entire role of government as a people. So while talking about what went on or what's going on in the Southeast, I also see that looks like it's a national problem. Looks like it's a national problem because state governments in the North are known to have paid bandits and continue to pay them so that they will have peace in their community. So what is the role of the central government in fighting insecurity?
The difference is that in that of Southeast, we did not import any bandit in our territory, in our region. In the North, we know who did it. The Northern leaders brought the terrorists in their region. So they should live with it and leave us alone. Okay, they cannot export it.
Yes. Okay, how about the people that are causing mayhem in the Southeast?
Who told you? Before Hope Uzodinma became governor of Imo State, was there any mayhem? Was there any mayhem, Mr. Okoro? I don't want us to divert from this. They exported. Were you not aware? Several times they have loaded people from the Sahel into the South on trailer load
into the South.
On several times.
What was the last thing Chukwuma Soludo said about the criminals in the Southeast?
That was a political statement. He wants to have a way. He have to warm his heart into the APC government in Abuja. That was a political. I even challenged him. I said, "Come, that's not the best way to go. If you before you can say that somebody is a criminal, a court has to pronounce it. You cannot just arrest somebody and you now conclude that this man is all the criminals are from Anambra."
Before you come in, let's bring a professor into it, and let me add this headline from the Punch newspaper to it as well, to the conversation that we're having already. The Punch has its big story.
Are you from this city? This video is for you. We're looking for 100 homeowners.
Terrorism trial. FG may seek Ekpa's repatriation after Finland's 6-year jail term. The riders to that one, government will take further action after judgment review, AGF. Ruling, warning to extremists, Information Minister. Professor Emmanuel, how do you react to these headlines? And thanks for joining us again. Well, do we still have Professor Emmanuel with us?
We've not.
All right, I do understand that
Moses
has left the conversation. Well, we'll try to re-establish contact with him. He's joining us virtually.
Moses.
Oh, well, go ahead, Barrister.
There is something we call double jeopardy in law. You don't apply it to an individual. It's not done. The Finnish government and Nigerian government, they don't have such a treaty. Simon Ekpa is a Finnish citizen. I don't see what they are asking for happening. It can never happen. As a matter of fact, if that guy is brought here now, the case will enter another quagmire. Don't like Nnamdi Kanu.
No, they're saying after he has served his 6 years.
That's what I'm saying now. They will not develop, the thing will not develop another life of his own after the guy has served his sentence in Finland. And I'm telling you that, look, double jeopardy is what? Is injustice on his own.
Well, I think in this case, the government is. I think you want to say something?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now, really, I wanted to react to that statement. It was, right to extract from the statement Governor Soludo made in the U.S. To be very modest in responding to that observation, I think it was very, very uncharitable. It was terribly primordial and unacceptably subjective of somebody of Soludo's capacity to make that kind of reckless. I watched it, I listened to the video clip, and I felt it's something out of this world and does not have any touch with reality. I was terribly disappointed.
Okay, so you think that those people captured were not of Southeast origin?
Sir, you see, let me make reference to the point that in 2018, precisely, when Buhari, late President Buhari was, the president of this nation, the United Nations assessment of the security situation of Nigeria declared Southeast as the safest region
in the whole of
Nigeria.
Yes.
Then within a space of 14 months, I was following that. I teach criminology.
Yes.
I was analyzing with my students. The trend started changing.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to do with those people. And now the wisdom of Abacha comes to fore that any of such things happening and the state will not arrest it.
Okay.
The state has a hand in it. I had cause to address this issue on TVC. Live discussion on the complicity of the federal government as it has to do with the state of insecurity, not just in Nigeria. But the good point you made also is that, let me tell you, it is a national dilemma. But it has more to do with the incapacity and inactivity of the federal government of the day that has what you may call rights to what you call monopoly of violence.
Okay.
What are your soldiers doing in the barracks?
I understand.
I will give you one point. In 1958, for instance, when Nigeria was yet to be fully established as a state, what you are seeing in the north today did not start today. There was an incident of that nature, and those people were operating from the highlands of Cameroon Mountain. I got to know that at its earlier phase as a military personnel, it took the intervention of late Odumegwu Ojukwu in his earlier phase in the military to pursue those bandits up to the highlands of Cameroon and captured them. You might not see it in your newspaper headlines. What is happening to all our military personnel, your security force, all of them, ensconced in the barracks, while the so-called bandits and terrorists are having a field day?
No, I understand all of that, and everybody understands what's going on as far as the fight against insecurity is concerned.
Yes.
My position is, it is difficult to rule out that there were infiltrators.
It is established.
It's established.
If you like, I can give you
established that there were infiltrators.
Exactly.
Not just in the southeast.
Yes.
All parts of
across
Nigeria.
board.
But trying to talk about the southeast,
yes,
it would be difficult for anybody.
Have you ever Googled yourself?
No. What's up?
There's an AI called Janora.
To say that they didn't have local collaboration.
Not necessarily. You can't enter into a man's territory.
In that case, no, I have told you.
I didn't ask a question.
The government prepared the crime and the criminal
commission. We know all of that. It is difficult to rule out that there were no local collaborators.
No, there are.
In my own state, Abia State,
sure,
within the Isukwato Umunochi axis, sure, where kidnapping went on for a very long time, at a point, people were arrested. People were interviewed, people were interrogated. Sure. And we discovered that, yes, there were headsmen, Fulani headsmen, that were doing the kidnapping. But they had local collaborators from that community.
Let me
so at the point, Chukwuma Soludo said, a group of people were captured randomly.
Yes.
And they were interrogated and discovered that all of them were from the southeast. Was this some form of coincidence?
Now let me answer you that. If the ones he said we arrested were Southeasterners, the security personnel in charge of those arrests have some questions to answer. Now, in that your Umuneuchi axis you talked about, remember the testimony of one bishop that was equally
arrested. Yes.
I mean, these were credible facts. Outside him, three other people. But the biggest revelation from that experience was that he said that not only were his abductors, his men, but as they were coming out of that place when he was released, security people were asking him, how much did you pay those? How much was paid? In other words, it now dawned on him that this security person were working in cahoots.
In cahoots with them.
Are we communicating?
It's not in dispute.
Let me
it's
say
not in dispute.
Yes.
No, see, the issue of contention here is whether Southeasterners were involved in the mayhem going on this.
No, it's not in contention. Let me conclude on that.
Okay, I agree.
Yes, it's my field.
Good.
I'm a criminologist.
Okay.
Even in a pathology, the Bible will tell you that you cannot enter a strong man's house
without first binding him.
Binding him. The implication of that binding is that you must people that are insiders.
Beautiful.
Look at what happened between the issue of the Great Wall of China, right? If you go back to the Middle Century, when Europeans got to that place, they say it's not about the wall, it's about the people. Our business is to do work hard, and get access to somebody within their midst who will make that high wall, useless.
Thank you for watching that video. So, guys,
You are dining and whining with terrorists. Then under 9 months, one that is operating in Finland have been jailed. And you are not even ashamed. You are saying you are waiting for the CTC. So you now copy what they did, Abi, before you can now jail these ones here. Is that what you are waiting for? A whole attorney general. Look at what is going on in Nigeria here. No single one of them has been brought to book. Rather, you are negotiating and dining with them. So it is when they jail somebody in abroad that you now know what to do, Abi. Is that what you are telling me? It's a shame.
Now, you've heard, of course, several reactions, and possibly you could have gotten something to take home with. And it is quite interesting, honestly. Some persons allege or accuse Simon Ekpa for being the agent of Nigeria, agent of the governors of the eastern states, and yet they are looking for him to kill, to judge, to destroy. And upon the pronouncement of the ruling by the Finland court, which is subject to appeal anyway, and they are celebrating. Now, it is very clear now for those who are promoting the deceptive propaganda that Simon Ekpa was an agent of Nigeria destroying the southeast. Today, you are getting more clarity about the true happenings in the eastern region. There are some stake actors, of course, playing the ostrich over the state of insecurity, rocking the entire eastern region. But recall, the United Nations, of course, findings in 2016-2018 described the eastern region, the southeastern region of Nigeria, as the most human security secured geographical region. What suddenly happened is the question: who brought the assailates? Who brought the killings? Who brought the destruction upon the Igbo nation, the Igbo communities? Is another discussion loading. Just keep in touch. Turn on the notification button. You will get this once it's been uploaded. Thanks for watching.